Poor Zach Taylor caught between a star player that deserves to be paid
right.
and a front office that is
Right.
notoriously, historically, and currently cheap.
Yeah.
And this is what it comes down to.
Right.
It's as simple as the rookie wage scale was put in place in 2011 to ensure that draft busts don't run away with millions they never earn.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is the guys who earn it have to wait longer than they should to get it. And it's that fourth year where, in this case, for example, the Bengals will get the services of Jamar Chase for $4.8 million.
Right.
I always say it never gets cheaper, and it's not going to get cheaper. If they wait a year, it's going to cost them more than $35 million per year in new money to do it and get it done and make him happy. But they will have gotten him for this year for $4.8 million.
Right.
I think that's why Mike Brown is trying to drag his feet, and we've seen way too many teams refuse to reward a great player after 3 seasons. Burrow got his last year after 3 seasons.
Right.
And today's the day. This is where it's been pointing all along. Burrow got his contract on the day that we were here in Kansas City for the regular season opener. And he didn't practice some in the preseason. He had the calf injury.
Yeah.
It didn't have the same
Right.
vibe
Right.
as the deliberate, intentional, I'm not practicing until I get paid. But he got it today. If Chase doesn't get it today,
Yeah.
it's going to get ugly.
Right.
You're going to hear some stuff about what's been going on behind the scenes. There's going to be some back and forth. Will he play on Sunday? He's not going to just leave. You can't just leave, but all of a sudden, my back hurts. My head hurts. My hamstring's tight. You get into the classic hold-in where it's a guy who is taking advantage of any bump and bruise that he might have, any sprain or strain, to not play. That's what this morphs into if they don't get this done today.
That's
the
right.
question is, what? And I've heard well, he's under contract for 2 more years. I don't care. The window's open for a long-term deal. He deserves the money that he didn't get when he was drafted. He's proven his value. They need to do this today. And this is where we're going to find out, are the Bengals ready to be a good team or not?
I agreed. The only thing holding them back right now is the most obvious, easy contract situation in football. I go, they're a Super Bowl team, and our one worry is really owner-related as it stands right now. That's the problem. Will they pay a guy that we know deserves to be paid as the top 2 or 3 receivers in football? Period. It's plain and simple, let alone he's a guy that went to college with your star quarterback, has a great bond with him. The team likes him, right? He brings a personality and a pizzazz to the football team that is infectious that way. I mean, this is one of the more exciting guys in the game. So, yeah, this is a no-brainer. Duh. Let's get it done. Jamar Chase is special. He is. I think they know that, and I did some digging on this last night. I did, because I'm sick of it. I'm going, wait, I'd like to hear from a few people. And so I reached out to a few people close to the situation. I got the sense here that, yeah, we saw Jamar Chase out there yesterday, not for everything. You see here in the video.
He was limited,
right.
that's it.
Did one-on-ones, right? Did some 7-on-7. Didn't anything full team, I don't think. Did group install. He's in shape. He's ready. He's been doing walkthroughs. He's mentally engaged, all that. Yeah, he needs some live reps. But I'm not really worried about that with, one of the greater athletes in all of football. We saw the guy miss a whole college football season and come back his rookie year and go, whoa, this guy's awesome right off the bat. But I was led to believe that it is coming down the pipe, and by both people that I talked to yesterday, they thought that at the latest it's done Friday, that it's there, it's right there, and that it's coming down the pipe here in the next 24 hours or so. So hopefully that'll be good news for all of us football fans and, of course, the Bengal fans out there.
I know this is the day that's been targeted all along.
Right.
Whatever day last year Joe Burrow got his deal, we'll see if they do it today. And it's stupid because, and this isn't picking on the Bengals, we said it about the Cowboys, we said it about the 49ers. You set the deadline before the first day of training camp, because even if they get it done today, how prepared is Jamar Chase? How ready? And we're going to watch him, CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Ayuk. Will somebody get injured early in the season?
Right.
Will they be the guy they used to be? Will it take them a few weeks? Will Chase be ready to come out and have the kind of game against the Chiefs in week 2?
That's going to be
It's
the
all the
big
more
thing,
reason
right.
to have sat down and said, we're going to pay this guy anyway this year.
Right.
Let's just do it now so he's ready. But I still think from the Bengals' perspective, I think they were hoping to
kick
kind
the
of
can down the
stumble
road a little
into
bit.
what the Vikings stumbled
Right.
into last year. They negotiated with Justin Jefferson right up until the start of the season. And I remember I think, probably sitting here saying the ball was in the Vikings' court. Jefferson wanted a certain structure, certain dollars. The Vikings didn't do it, and they got him for the 4th year cheap. Even though they ultimately had to pay him $35 million per year in new money, they got him cheap last year. That's what the Bengals have been trying to do, and I still think at some level they're holding out hope they can pull it off, that they just get to their best number and Chase doesn't take it.
Yeah.
Because if he doesn't take it, great, we get him for $4.8 million this year.
Right.
And $3.8 of it has already been earned.
Right.
That training camp roster bonus that agents use to protect the player, this gets into the whole offset thing. I got $3.8 of my money right now.
Yep.
Early in camp. The problem is it kept him from holding out. He'd have held out, but he would have lost $3.8 million on day 3 of training camp.
Yeah.
And if he would have held out, maybe it'd be done by now.
Yeah, right. Well, listen, there's a difference between the Viking situation and the Bengals situation this year. Viking situation, the biggest thing is nobody was picking them to win the Super Bowl last year, and we all knew that Kirk Cousins not being on the Vikings was a possibility, right? So there was that. This is like, no. The team is set. It's ready right now. What are we doing? And it's the time is now to go win a Super Bowl. And that's where I feel like it's a little bit different, and I think puts a little more pressure on Mike Brown and the Bengals organization because of that. Because people, and you and me, are going to sit here and go, there's one team out there right now that we feel good that can go into Kansas City or, look eye to eye with Mahomes and Andy Reid and not blink, and it's the Cincinnati Bengals. And they're not going to do it and be able to beat the Kansas City Chiefs if they don't have Jamar Chase at full strength. So that's where this is a little bit more pressurized, okay, than the Minnesota Vikings situation last year. And by all due accounts, by people I talked to, even through training camp, Jamar Chase is in very good shape. Now, how good a football shape, I don't know. But they all seem to think it's not like he's been lazy and not ready here. So he should be ready to go if he does play Sunday.
Here's Joe Burrow, and I frankly believe that we wouldn't get to this point with Chase because of the connection to Burrow. And they've been doing everything they can to placate Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
They want Joe Burrow to want to stay with the Bengals. They sold the naming rights to the stadium, for crying out loud, to make sure they had enough cash to pay Joe Burrow. I thought that extended automatically to Jamar Chase. It hasn't yet. Here's Burrow from yesterday talking about his former college teammate and current NFL teammate, Jamar Chase.
It's always been as a team first, win first kind of guy. That's the kind of guy that Jamar is, and you want to reward those guys.
How long does it take Jamar to get football ready and get in sync with you, do you think?
He's ready to go.
Right now?
Yep. I saw him out there today. He looks fast, strong, like he always does. I know he's been doing what he needs to do to stay ready if he needs to be ready. So I'm confident that if he does go out there on Sunday, then he'll be the Jamar we all know.
If he does go out there on Sunday. See, that's what is the difficulty of the hold-in, because at some point you do have to go to work. And that if he does go out there on Sunday, it's almost like, I don't know at what point, I'm struggling with this, at what point does the team let a guy not play because he doesn't have his contract? Because you have a contract to play currently. You showed up. You didn't hold out. The hold-in collapses when we get to the point where it's time to get ready to play and time to go play.
Right.
And that's what's weird about this. And it's all the more reason to just get it done. Just get it done. Break from the mold that we've seen where the Bengals will ride out a full rookie contract, apply the franchise tag once, and then say, see you later. They did it to Jesse Bates. They're doing it to T. Higgins. They've historically never had a guy on the team for more than 1 year. The only guy they signed that was franchise tagged was Carl Pickens, and they cut him after 1 year. The franchise tag is usually the death knell to the relationship because they go back to the draft and they get cheap young guys, and they don't care about losing the star. They don't care if the fans are like, hey, I bought this guy's jersey. Oh, well, you'll buy the next guy's jersey. That's how they've been. Whether they've truly changed is going to be proven in whether or not today or tomorrow they get this deal done with Jamar Chase.
Yeah, agreed there. And you get the feeling that, we had Zach Taylor early in the week who said he kind of put his foot in his mouth a little bit because he thought he'd be ready to go and going to practice a little, right? Burrow has made comments like, hey, he's ready to go. He looks good and all that. You get the sense that they feel like it's coming down the pipe here as far as the contract and all of that. But, Yeah, it's still got to be pen meets paper and go that way. But yeah, I'm getting the sense that we're there.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.